It is the Singapore Grand Prix and no one can be more ready for this race than our very own Fox Sports team. All hands on deck. And speaking of our team, Karun live now from the paddock. In fact, live now from the grid. This is Karun's very own grid walk.
Hi, welcome to the grid. Nico Rosberg, a very late arrival. He had a bit of an issue. We saw parked at the pit lane, but he is here. So Nico, nice to say he's made it to the grid. Most of the drivers have just started nipping the low. I can see Felipe Nasser here. See if we can stop him. And Felipe, nice to see you. How are you doing? Right. Joseph, see, has he given you lots to drink ahead of this race?
Enough, a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's what we can do to prepare ourselves the best we can. So it's a tough race, this one, for sure.
I mean, you're a rookie here. Is this going to be your toughest race physically?
I mean, Malaysia was probably the toughest for now, but for sure this is another challenge, and we'll see. From the back here, it's going to be a challenging one.
You got a good man looking after you. Joseph Lebre, of course, ex-physio for Ayrton Senna, Alain Prost, people like that. Moving further up ahead, Carlos Sainz, one row further up the grid. Jenson Button's across the grid here, and he's already gone to the toilet. I've seen him nip off. Eric Bollier is here. Let me see if I can nip him for 1 second. Eric, you got a second? Live here on Fox Asia. Fernando on P12, Jenson back here. What do you expected?
Well, if we can have a good strategy, we can bring both cars home in the points, and this is what I want to target today.
I mean, we've seen tyres are quite critical. I think Mercedes have talked about it a lot. How are you guys finding it? Is this what you expected with the tyres here? What's your situation?
Oh yeah, it's fine. We are fine with tyres, and it's exactly what we are expecting. So now we are going to play a little bit with the number of stops.
All right, good luck. You see Lewis Hamilton, also a very late arrival to the grid. You can see Hamilton just coming through. So Mercedes cutting it a little bit fine to come onto the grid here. Walking up towards the front. Let's try and follow the crowd. And we have Phil Charles. Chelsea, how are you doing? Give a quick word. Here on Fox Asia, Phil Charles with Toro Rosso. Verstappen, fantastic qualifying. Carlos obviously touched the wall. Where are you on strategy? What do you think? 2, 3, where's it going?
Between the two. Well, between the two, very close. We're in a little bit of a tricky game because the Williams have got two dogs in the fight. We've only got one. We need Carlos to come through. So maybe we roll the dice a bit with Carlos, but it's definitely close between 2 and 3.
Well, good luck. Max looked outstanding on track yet again. Very aggressive, feisty, and so did Carlos until that unlucky little incident, looking very feisty indeed. Force India's Nico Hülkenberg, he did say he would talk to us on the grid, but he might have gone off. Can't see him at the moment. Lotus and Romain Grosjean here in the car as well. You can see a whole herd of people. There's a lot of stuff going on with Lotus. These guys keeping their head down and just getting on with it. Williams up ahead here, Felipe Massa. He was reasonably content. I spoke to Claire Williams yesterday, and we see Felipe by the wall. Let's see if we can grab him. Rob Smedley. Rob, how you doing? You got a minute for us? Yeah. You guys, where do you think you are? Is this what you expected from quali, 7th and 9th?
From quali, yeah. Well, I expected actually 7th and 8th. We could have been a little bit better. In fact, I think if Felipe had got his lap together, if he'd have just repeated his lap from qualifying 2, then he would have been either split in the Mercedes or in front of them, which is good. But yeah, this is about where we are, this area of the grid.
And in terms of today, 2 stops, 3 stops, where are you guys? You got 2 guys in the fight up for points, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. We have to get, if the car's 4th quickest, then we have to get a minimum of 10 points from this race. It will be either 2 or 3 stops.
Thanks for that. As usual, Rob Smedley giving very little away. Claire Williams as well, up ahead on the grid. Claire, you looking a bit lonely on the grid?
I'm deep in thought.
Fantastic. I mean, we just spoke to Rob about strategy stuff, but how important is the Singapore Grand Prix for you as a race meeting?
It's always important. It's such a great venue, isn't it, to come racing at, and for that reason we have lots of our partners here this weekend. We've got about 100 odd in our suite, so for us to have a good race in front of them is really important to us. But it's the same as any race, you know. We need to get lots of points here. It's just very unfortunate that our main rivals, Red Bull and Ferrari, are so far ahead of us.
All right, well, good luck. We've got to head to the national anthem. The drivers are all heading up front. And we've got about 10 seconds to go for the national anthem. Lots of people, Fran Stoss, Pat Simmons, all walking past. But the drivers are heading that way, back to the studio.